salavat-ı şerife getirenlerin ahir ve akıbetleri hayrola. Âle ezvacı tahiret evladı Resul-i Sahibi Güzün Efendilerimizin, sairi enbiya-i izam ve Resul-i Kiram Hazretin ervah şeriflerine, birimiz Bilal-i Habeşi radıyallahu anh Efendimizin, mihmandar-ı Resul-i Kibriya, Eyüp Sultan Halid bin Zeyd, Eba Eyyub el-Ensari radıyallahu anh, Şah Murşidan, Şeyh Hacı Muhammed Bahadin Nakşibendi el-Buhari, Mevlana Celaleddin el-Rumi, Mevlana Ziyaddin Halid el-Baghdadi, Sahib-ı Zaman, Kıbletül İslam, Şeyh Mevlana Muhammed Nazım Adil el-Hakkani, Sahib-ı Saif, Şeyh Abdülkerim el-Kıbrıs el-Rabbani, Kaddesallahu esvaruhum hazirat-ı ervah için, Hadimul Harameyn-i Şerifeyn, Yavuz Sultan Selim Han, Ebul Fetvel Mevazi, Fatih Sultan Mehmet Han, ve Serdar-ı Hakan, Sultan Abdülhamid Han, cennet mekan, Firdevs-i Aşiyan, haziratının ervahına ve evna inayetine, Elel husus bu caminin banisi ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş İmam Muezzin Kayyım cemaatinin ve kahfi ehli imanın ervah için Allah rızası için El Fatiha. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnnallâhe ve melâiketehu yusallûne alennebi. Ya eyyühellezîne amenû sallu aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin ve ala ali seyyidina Muhammed. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayyâles salâh. Hayyâles salâh. Hayyâlel felâh. Hayyâlel felâh. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber.
Allahu Ekber.
La ilahe illallah.
La ilahe illallah. Seyyidina Mevlana Muhammed Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Elhamdülillah, elhamdülillah. Elhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Ve salatu ve selamu ala Resulina Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve sahbihi ecmain. Nahmadullah Teala ve nastağfiruhu ve eşhedü en la ilahe illallah vahdehu la şerike leh. نشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده وحبيبه ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأزواجه وأصحابه التابعين خلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعده وزائمة على التحقيق وحزز منهم على العميد خلفاء رسول الله على التحقيق أمراء المؤمنين حضرات أبو بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعلى باقي أصحاب التابعين رضوان الله تعالى عليهم أجمعين يا أيها المؤمنون الحاضرون يذكر الله تعالى فإن الله حمل الذين تقوا الذين هم محسنون. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who says in the Holy Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Say, O believers, we believe in Allah and that which is revealed to us, and that which was revealed to Ibrahim and Ismail and Ishaq and Yaqub and all the tribes, and that which Musa and Isa received, and that which the prophets received from their Lord. We make no distinction between any of them, and unto Him we have surrendered. And if they believe like you believe, then they are rightly guided. But if they turn away, they are only in dissension, and Allah will be sufficient for you against them. And He is the hearing, the knowing. We take our color from Allah, and who is better than Allah at coloring? We are His worshippers. Sadaqallah al-Azim. May all peace and blessings be upon the Imam of the Messengers, Sayyidina Mawlana Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam, who said, Whoever sends much salawats upon me shall be in the shade of the Arsh. May peace and blessings be upon him and upon his noble family, his blessed companions, especially upon the four Khulafa Rashidin, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar al-Faruq, Hazrat Osman al-Ghani, and Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. May peace and blessings be upon the noble Mashaykh of this way, the inheritors of the Prophet. May peace and blessings be upon the Ottoman Sultans who established truth and justice upon the earth. May Allah love those who love them. May Allah disgrace those who hate them. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers. Welcome to you as the month of Rajab approaches us. May Allah allow us to prepare for its holy days now and to enter it as his good servants. O believers, we entered into this world when we were born from our mothers, and one day we are going to leave this world. We entered through one door, but there are two doors for going out. Our Shaykh Sahib al-Saif, Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Kibrisi Rabbani, Qadr Sir, is saying, you can live as much as you want, but you're going to live as much breath of life as is given to you. When Azrael is going to come, there are two doors going out. One is the door of Rahmat, and the other one is the door of Zahmat and difficulties. The way you live, the Prophet is saying, that's how you're going to die. The way you die, that's how you're going to rise to the judgment day. Look at yourself, how you are living. What is your idea of life? Look at it, and then understand how you are going to die. If you don't like it, then change it. Change it the way that Allah and His Prophet wants it. On Judgment Day, we are going to be shown the lifestyle that we live in a book. That book, for those who lived a good life, it will be given to us from the right side. For those who did not live according to the way of Allah and His Prophet, they get their book from their left, or even worse, from their back. Listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describing the people who get the book in their right hands in the Holy Quran. He's saying, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Then, as for him who is given his book in his right hand, he will say, here, read my book. I did really understand that my accounting would one day reach me. Then he will be in a blissful state. Sadaqallah al-Azim. That person, he lived his life knowing that he would have to give an answer to his lifestyle, to his actions for what he did. And because of that awareness, he is in bliss and joy in the next life, and he cannot wait for his book to be read. How can we become like that? What kind of actions and deeds can we do in this life that bring us to that kind of a safety, blissful situation in the Akhirat? The friends of Allah, they are showing us. Our Grand Sheikh Sultan al-Awliya, Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim Adil al-Haqqani, al-Ahir, is telling us how to live, saying, we must learn servanthood. We must train our ego to be a servant. Because the ego is a bad servant. Shaitan is a servant, but the worst one. Don't be with worst servants. Don't be with bad servants. It is your honor to be able to be with good servants. Try to be with the prophets and their followers and companions and holy ones. Don't be with Shaitan and Nimrud and Firaun and the enemies of the holy ones. Don't be with devils, because they are bad servants. Good servants have shining lights coming out of them. When you see bad servants, you will understand. They are closed. Don't be with bad ones. There is a worst luck in the here and in the hereafter. We are sitting here and trying to make, as a first step, for our proud egos to be humble. It is a bombarding on our egos. Come and settle on your level. Don't put yourself higher than you are. That is all. We come here under the command and advice of the holy ones, from the masters who have already put their egos under their feet. It is an opening, a mercy from heavens, that they send one of their servants to be your servant. If anyone accepts to step down from up there and to land in the land of humbleness, they will be happy and pleased. They will reach pleasures which will last forever. They will reach oceans of lights, endless oceans of wisdoms, endless oceans of love, endless oceans of mercy, endless oceans of power, and endless oceans of pleasures. They will reach endless oceans, everyone, a different one than the other. That is the real life with the Lord of Heavens. Tuba. No one can translate that word because it is the final point of happiness. You will be happy with your Lord, and He will be pleased with you. May Allah forgive us. Be in companionship, be in sohbat with those who are beloved to Allah and His Prophet, and learn from them. Don't be with them blindly. Don't be with them robotically. Be with them sincerely, and sincerely learn from them the way of humbleness, the way of bombarding the ego, the way of becoming a servant. And inshallah, we will reach to that tuba that Shaykh Maulana is describing. You will not just experience it in Akhirat, you will taste it in dunya. You have to learn. We all have to learn how to be a good companion within that companionship. One of the great awliya, Shaykh Abu Osman al-Ahir, Qadasallahu Sirr, is telling us the way of sohbat, the way of companionship. He's saying, sohbat with Allah Almighty is to have good manners, to always be respectful, and to be in a state of muraqabah. Sohbat with Rasulullah ﷺ is to follow his sunnah and adhere to the outward rulings. Sohbat with the awliya Allah is to respect them and do their hizmet. Sohbat with one's family and children is to have good character. Sohbat with your ikhwan is to always be joyful and cheerful, unless there is sin involved. And sohbat with the jahil, with the ignorant people, is to make dua for them, to be merciful to them, and to appreciate the blessings of Allah upon you as you have been kept safe from the test of their ignorance. The friends of Allah, they speak the truth. And they make it very simple for us to understand what it is. So the way of being in this companionship, it is service, it is to bring joy and cheerfulness to others. Who lived like that? The Holy Prophet ﷺ lived like that. The Sahaba Kiram lived like that. They gave their lives for each other. The Prophet ﷺ, he risked his life, all of his 30 years, 63 years, for his companions and for the ummah until Ahir Zaman. And the Sahaba Kiram, they gave their lives, and the lives of their children and their parents and everyone who loves them and whom they love, to serve the Holy Prophet. And they gave their lives to bring ease and happiness to their brothers in that sohbat, to the ummah. Holy Prophet ﷺ talked about the way that a believer, he must behave within the Jamaat. He's saying, smiling in the face of your brother It is your charity. Enjoining good and forbidding evil is charity. Guiding a lost man through the land is your charity. Lending your eyesight to a man who cannot see well is your charity. Removing rocks, thorns, and bones from the road is your charity. Pouring your leftovers into the bowl of your brother is your charity. We should help others. We must be good to others. Make things easy for others. Give another believer your time. Give another believer your patience. Give another believer your tolerance. Give another believer your time solving his problems, making his life better. It is worth more than giving all the money in this world. Why is that? Because when you are helping, you are giving something from the deepest part of yourself. And you're stepping on your ego. You're not being selfish. But who is saying this? The Holy Prophet ﷺ said, truly you cannot enrich all the people with your money, but rather you enrich them, you make them rich with your cheerful faces and good character. Without this, no matter how much prayers, worship you offer, no matter how much you fast, how much money you give, you're not going to be happy. There is an emptiness that is inside of you. The happiness that comes from Allah is reserved for those whose spirits have learned generosity. That happiness is veiled from those who have selfishness inside of them. Our Shaykh Sahib al-Saif is saying, once you realize and you accept and you come to that awakening station that nothing is yours, then you will be able to share it with others. We are just temporary here, and everything that is in your hands is temporary. Given to you. Everything is given for your service. Doesn't mean that everything is yours. Allah is giving. He is not taking. He is giving. If you are a servant, then you must learn first to give. If you didn't learn that, then first learn how to take. You're not going to get tired of taking. Only you are going to take. You're never going to want to give. People today don't have peace in the world. They are suffering. The biggest reason is they are not sharing. Peace and the whole blessings comes to a man when he is giving, sharing with others, and Allah is pleased with you. When Allah is pleased with you, what else do you want? But first you have to understand, what is Allah? People, they are just mentioning the name 24 hours, but they are not trying to understand what is Allah and what is it to be a servant. Once you know, you come to the realization that you are a servant. All blessings come with that, and you run to do the servanthood the best way. He is just giving to his servants. He is serving, isn't it? He is serving. So first, you have to become a servant. The words of our Shaykh speak the truth. These words are for people of understanding, who want to sit, who want to understand themselves, who want to learn. What is Shaykh Effendi saying? The Sultan of Sultans, the King of Kings, the Master of everything, Allah Jalla wa'ala, He is giving to His servants. He is serving. What is the secret there? The service makes a man into a sultan. The one who makes his life about serving others, he becomes the happiest person. He will enter into those oceans, endless oceans that Shaykh Maulana is describing. He becomes the happiest person, and Allah makes him a sultan. Once the Holy Prophet ﷺ was serving water to the people, and a Bedouin came in and asked, who is the Sayyid? Who is the master of these people? The Holy Prophet ﷺ gave an answer in 3 words. He said, Sayyidul Qawm Khadimuhum. The master of the people is the one who serves them. 3 words showing the highest civilization, the highest understanding of Allah, and the highest understanding of the reason of our creation. Sayyidul Qawm Khadimuhum. The master of the people is the one who serves them. We should check ourselves. We should check ourselves every day. It is easy for people to fool themselves and to say, today I serve Allah. Today I do everything for the sake of Allah. But it is not so easy to ask yourself sincerely, who did I serve today? Only myself? Myself and my family? Myself and my friends? Who did I serve today? Who am I making happy? Who am I sharing my happiness with? Whose face am I bringing a smile to? If we are not able to answer that properly, we are selfish. Selfishness will kick us out from Allah's love. Shaykh Effendi is saying, the more stingy you become, the more selfish you become. The more selfish you become, the more arrogant and stubborn you become. The more arrogant and stubborn you become, the more tyrant you become. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that He doesn't love the tyrants. And the one that Allah doesn't love, that one is a kafir. That one is an unbeliever, and that one is in trouble. So even if the person is an unbeliever, he isn't believing in anything, but if he is a generous one, its blessings will reach to him one day. We should run to be in the companionship of generosity. We should learn how to be generous from them. Be with those who will teach us how to put yourself. Put yourself last. Put others first. Be with those ones who will teach you how to serve others. Be with those ones who are living in the joy of serving others. So many will say, I have no problems with that. But I have a problem with this one and this one and this one because they make me angry. Because they did this wrong to me, did this wrong to me. But I have no problems giving from my time and from my money and from my effort and from my spirit. Cannot be that way. That is not sincere. When you give, you give. You don't look. As the sun is shining to both believer and unbeliever, as Allah sends the rizq, the provisions to both believer and unbeliever, the saint and the one who commits the sin, the one who is generous, will do it regardless of who is in front of him. That is the difficult thing to do, to step on your ego and to be generous that way. Because we only want to be generous with the people that we like, the people that we choose, the people that we get along with. The dargah does not teach you that way. You become like that, you will split up into cliques, you will split up into groups, you will split up into tribes. And once you become tribal, you enter into the state of jahiliyyah. Learn from those ones who have the key. Be with those ones who are living in the joy and the happiness of serving others. It may not be easy, but learn from them. That kind of a Jamaat, never separate from it, because that is the Jamaat of the Sahabi Kiram. Continuing to our time. Remember the companions of the Prophet. Remind yourselves about them. It will refresh your faith. One Sahabi is saying, during the Battle of Yarmouk, I went to look at my cousin who was in the front lines and took some water to give him. I found him, and he was about to die. I was going to give him water, but he heard someone else crying out in pain. My cousin turned away from me and told me to give the water to the other man. I went to the second man, and as soon as I got to him, we heard a third man cry out in pain. The second man told me to give the water to the third man. When I reached the third man, he had already died. When I went back to the second man, he had also died. And when I returned to my cousin, he had already joined the other two in Shahadat. This is real. This did not just happen 1400 years ago. This continues to happen, but is becoming rarer and rarer. These are our role models. And nothing is more clear than how our noble Ottoman ancestors lived. They lived like this and they died like this. We have seen it from our Sheikh. We know that this is how he lived and this is how he passed. This kind of generosity, this kind of service, this kind of love, it is the inheritance that he has left to us. Just as the Prophet ﷺ worries about his nation, just as our Shaykh worries about us, we should worry about each other. Good news to us if we carry it and spread it throughout the world. Shame on us if we drop it. May Allah give us strength to continue this work. Sultan al-Awliya is saying, O heedless man, Allah Almighty wants you to smile. Allah wants you to be beautiful, subhanallah. He doesn't want you to be ugly, be beautiful. Allah Almighty wants to make you beautiful with new beauty every day. Prostrate to your Mawla, be beautiful. Prostrate to your Mawla and be mighty. The servants of such a sultan cannot be ugly. Allah Almighty loves the beautiful. Be beautiful. Ugly and rough are not beautiful. Be beautiful. Be elegant. Carry the nur of Allah. Allah loves those who carry His light. Let's see each other like that. May our distress leave us. Let's find new strength and mightiness, and let's be beautiful. May Allah forgive us. Ameen. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Lazim. Lazim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka. Subhan kudusun. Inna dinna Allah al-Islam. Amin.